So the iPhone 17 being the best-selling phone in the world right now genuinely does not surprise me even slightly, like at all. The second Apple announced this with double the base storage, 120Hz coming to the normal iPhone, better cameras, a bigger display, and basically removing half the annoying compromises they used to keep around just to push people towards the pros, you could kind of see where this was going. And now, according to Counterpoint Research, the regular iPhone 17 was the best-selling smartphone globally in Q1 2026, taking 6% of all smartphone sales worldwide, which is honestly insane when you think about how many Android phones exist on the market. The iPhone 17 Pro Max came second, the iPhone 17 Pro came third, and even the older iPhone 16 is apparently still hanging near the top of the charts because people are still buying that loads as well, which honestly says a lot about where Apple is right now. Because for years, the base iPhone always felt like the one they intentionally held back a bit. You'd get a 60Hz display while Android phones that cost £14 had 120Hz somehow. You'd lose camera features, lose random tiny things that technically didn't matter individually, but collectively made the phone far less exciting. The iPhone 17 is the first time in ages where I looked at the base model and said, yeah, people should just buy this instead of the Pro. And I said that when it launched, by the way. I remember people in the comments acting like I was being dramatic for saying the Pro model suddenly looked kind of unnecessary for regular consumers. But look at what happened. The numbers basically proved it. Because once you give people a smoother display and decent storage, most normal consumers stop caring about the extra stuff. Seriously, most people are not shooting ProRes log footage of their dog walking through a park in cinematic slow motion while color grading it in DaVinci Resolve. They're just watching TikTok, taking food photos, using WhatsApp, scrolling Instagram in bed until 2 AM, pretending they're gonna sleep soon. That's a reality. And honestly, I think Apple knew exactly what they were doing here. The base iPhone 17 feels less like a cheaper version of the Pro and more like the default iPhone again, which historically is where Apple always wins. The base iPhones usually dominate sales because most users just want something reliable that feels premium and lasts years. Now, I'll be honest, I think even I massively underestimated how important 120Hz actually was to average consumers. Regular consumers might not know what ProMotion means, but it seems they absolutely do pick up on the display being smoother with how the iPhone 17 is doing. And Apple avoided giving that feature to the standard iPhone for years, literal years. They treated higher refresh rate displays like some sacred pro-only technology when Android brands were throwing them into budget phones alongside free earbuds and a toaster. So the second Apple finally brought it down to the regular iPhone, it instantly made the phone feel way more modern. And the 256 gigs of base storage matters as well. That's actually a huge deal. I think Apple quietly realized people are keeping their phones for longer now. Storage fills up ridiculously quickly, apps are massive, photos are massive, iOS itself is getting bigger every year. Apple Intelligence features are probably going to eat storage as well once they roll out properly, because let's be honest, Apple Intelligence still feels a bit unfinished right now. Some of it feels like Apple showed up 2 years late to the AI party carrying a fruit salad while everyone's finished their dessert already, but eventually will mature. Probably, maybe, hopefully before the iPhone 23. Still, having extra storage future-proofs the device massively, and I think buyers had recognized that, especially when the price difference between the regular 17 and the Pro models started feeling harder to justify. Because what are you really getting on the Pro now that normal people care about? The telephoto? Slightly better thermals? Most people generally don't care. Of course, I know the Pros are doing well in their own right and I use an iPhone 17 Pro Max, but the regular 17 just nails the balance. And apparently sales in China and the US grew massively year over year, while sales in South Korea apparently tripled, which is kinda wild considering Samsung's dominance there historically. Apple making gains in Samsung's own backyard is not nothing. Although Samsung's Galaxy A series still sold pretty well, which again proves something I keep saying over and over again, most people prioritize value over flashy ultra premium specs. People online act like everyone's choosing between a folding phone and a $1,300 ultra premium flagship every upgrade cycle, but most consumers just want something good that doesn't annoy them. And honestly, the iPhone 17 might be one of the least annoying iPhones Apple's made in years. Even the design was less controversial than the Pro models. Yes, it looks similar to the iPhone 16, and honestly if you squint a bit, it kinda looks like the iPhone 15 as well. But Apple found a shape and decided that, yeah, that's gonna do for the next geological era. But I actually think that consistency helps normal buyers since it feels familiar. The design still feels premium, the slightly larger display helps a lot, the thinner bezels help a lot, and so from the front it finally feels very close to a Pro iPhone. Also, quick pause, if you're enjoying the video and you're obsessed with Apple rumors like I am, Instagram, subscribe and press the hype button. Seriously, the hype button helps small creators massively, and it genuinely pushes videos out to more people. Alright, back to the big success of the iPhone 17. Now I know some people looking at this might now be confused why Apple's downgrading the iPhone 18. The rumors have been disappointing because allegedly Apple's going to be downgrading the chip and the display. But I'll be honest, I don't think the iPhone 18 is going to be downgraded in any major way. Yes, the leaks have been persistent, but it would be odd for Apple to release a new iPhone with blatant downgrades. I think the iPhone 18 will probably just feel more iterative. If you remember, after the amazing iPhone 13, we got the iPhone 14, which barely changed things. It had a slightly better A15 chipset with a 5-core GPU, a new selfie camera, and also some new colors, but that was it. It was a very minor refresh. And so the same could happen with the iPhone 18, where it just gets a new chipset and Apple calls it a day, which realistically is what most iPhone upgrades are nowadays. Apple doesn't completely reinvent these things every year, and with the iPhone 17 being so complete already, there's not much they can add here. Plus, the iPhone 17 is going to enjoy a longer flagship run as well because the iPhone 18 is expected to launch in spring 2027 instead of the normal timing, which honestly is interesting strategically, because Apple might be testing whether separating launches helps sales momentum across the year instead of cramming everything into September. It also gives the iPhone 17 way longer to dominate shelves without immediately being replaced, and if sales are already this strong, why rush? Remember too, with the RAM shortage, a lot of companies are going to have to boost their prices, and so Apple's actually better off selling the iPhone 17 for longer considering it'll get cheaper as they produce it for longer. Companies will just not be able to compete with the prices Apple's going to be able to offer. Honestly, this entire situation reminds me a bit of the iPhone 11 and 13 era, that moment where Apple accidentally made the default iPhone way too appealing and loads of people realized they don't actually need the Pros anymore. Except this time, the regular iPhone doesn't really feel compromised anymore. That's the difference. I already know people in my circle who've bought the iPhone 17. I even got a refurbished iPhone 17 for my brother because he was in the market for a new phone. And from his iPhone 13, there was no other better value iPhone today than the iPhone 17. By the way, this hasn't been leaked yet, but I think it's pretty likely we see at least one new color with the iPhone 17 because in the past, Apple had given us new colors with the iPhone 12, 13 and 14 to spruce up the range because they were halfway through their cycle. And so with the iPhone 17 having a longer cycle, I think it makes sense to rejuvenate things with at least one new color. That will pump up excitement for the products again. And so maybe alongside the iPhone 18 series, we see a new color for the iPhone 17. Now, what new color is that going to be? We don't know. Obviously, this is just a mere prediction, but it would be nice to see red again. We haven't seen a regular red iPhone in quite a while. Obviously, Apple stopped partnering with product reds, but regardless, I would love to just see non-product red Apple products. Apple should bring it back. If you made it to the end, comment the word promotion below so I know you made it this far. And honestly, I'm really curious, do you think Apple made the Pro lineup too hard to justify now? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe and press the hype button because it genuinely helps small creators like me massively with the algorithm. And if you want more Apple rumors and leaks, go watch my video on the iPhone 18 launch strategy next because honestly, Apple's timing decisions are really getting weird this year.